Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. A literal and figurative butt kicking by the Indianapolis Colts against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Saturday, a 30-13 victory for Indy. And I just thought of the many issues from this game, and there are of course many. Indianapolis was just so much more physical than Pittsburgh. They really set the tone. They won at the point of attack. They won at the line of scrimmage, and they defined the physicality of the day. Let's talk about it. Have several clips to show you guys on offense and defense, and I want to start with this one because it's the literal first snap of the game after the opening kickoff, and we're just going to see this great stick and tackle by number 45 of the Colts. That's EJ Speed, one of Chris Ballard's great day 3 gems. He just got healthy coming back for this game, and you don't see Najee Harris get taken down in this fashion too often. I mean, you talk about just a great textbook wrap-up tackle, head across, leverage, drive, and drop a 240-pound back like Harris, who I thought ran hard overall in this game, but you just talk about setting the tone for the game. Yeah, you don't see Najee Harris in that position, 1v1 too often, and the Colts just really came out from the literal first offensive snap of the game and said, we're going to hit you, we're going to set the tone. Pittsburgh did convert in the red zone twice in this game, but it was a painful and messy and difficult process. And I thought the Colts, again, won the point of attack down near the goal line, watching this play, the first play after the Connor Hayward punt block, and the offensive line for Pittsburgh, just no movement at all. Now, some of the bit may debate. You're in shotgun. Some guys are in 2-point stances. There's probably a critique to be made there. But again, I would expect an offensive line to be able to get enough of a push for Najee Harris. And there is no push here. Harris loses yards. 3-yard loss on this play when you're at the half-yard line. Luckily, Pittsburgh does score in the next play. But just watch Pittsburgh just get worked off the ball. The Colts have leverage. They're under the pad level of the interior offensive line here for Pittsburgh. You got Stewart. You got Pay, I think 94 that is, in there. I mean, these guys are making plays and they're winning at the point of attack, and Harris has no chance on this play. So look at it again from the other end zone view, and you just see Pittsburgh not getting any sort of a push here. You're seeing Daniels and Cole and Jones just all stopped up here, and there is no lane at all for Najee Harris. I want to go back to the aerial view one more time just to really take another look at it. And you just see Pittsburgh. I mean, these guys are going nowhere. They're at the 1-yard line. Nobody getting movement at all. No threatening on the Trubisky quote-unquote keeper either. And it's a loss for the Steelers. Sometimes when you talk about physicality, this aerial view can really tell you better than the end zone views can. Usually, run game, we're looking at the end zone views, but I like the aerial view to kind of see the tone and just how guys are getting moved off the ball, or in this case, Pittsburgh not generating that movement. So this is first quarter here for the Steelers, and again, you're just going to see nobody winning at the point of attack for Pittsburgh. There's no movement created. The Colts defending the line of scrimmage, and then they're stacking and shedding, getting off of blocks and making tackles. And you see that there where Pittsburgh, the line, whether it's Cole, Moore, Sayamalu, there's no push here on this double team. The D tackle is able to hold the point of attack here. Moore being leveraged by 94. I think I called him Pay earlier. It's somebody else. But regardless, you're seeing the Colts really win. Daniels on the ground here. There was just no push up front, no chance for Najee Harris. That's big number 90. Grover Stewart, he just came back healthy, I think 2 games ago. And those guys consistently won the point of attack, and Pittsburgh's run game had no chance. We'll also look at this one. I wrote about it for the site on Steelers Depot, but just to really hammer home the point, the Najee Harris fumble, Pittsburgh running crunch, which we've talked about before, the basically double wham blocks. In this case, you're always going to get the off-ball tight end, the Y off, wham blocking, the 3-tech, and I don't know why Pat Frymuth is being asked to try to make this block on number 99 and a Pro Bowler DeForest Buckner. I mean, and even if you didn't expect the D tackles to switch on the motion, then he's supposed to do it on Grover Stewart, who's their big 1-tech plugger, which is it's actually worse. So why Frymuth is being asked to do this, I don't know. It's not putting him in position to succeed, but you see Buckner really be able to take away that hole. This run's supposed to be off the outside hip or leg of the tight end on that wham block. I'll go back to the other end zone view and to the inside of the kind of inside leg of the right tackle. So you're getting this wham action here. You're getting Jones fanning out on the DN. Ball's supposed to go between Jones here and Freiermuth here. But because Buckner is, a really talented three tech, he closes up that hole by leveraging, walking Freiermuth back, and Harris has to bounce it. The run's a wreck. He's able to make something out of it to his credit, but then fumbles as well. So, you just see the Colts winning the point of attack. I think Pittsburgh had a disaster plan here, so I put that on scheme more than I put it on Freiermuth. He's not going to block Buckner. I'm sorry, he's just not going to be able to do it. It's no shame in that. A lot of guys couldn't. He's not one of those guys. And the hole, again, supposed to be here, and it's such a mess with the kind of tough late crack down block on the safety, and Freiermuth is in a position you don't want to be in, and so you just felt and saw the Colts win the point of attack the entire game. Harris fumbles, Colts recover, they score the next play. That was the game. Defensively, similar issues in the second half. The first half, Pittsburgh, they were physical. The defense made some plays. They were wilting late. Injury certainly played a factor in this one, but not the only reason. The D-line was getting knocked and blown off the football. There weren't D-line injuries until Hayward late in this one with the game already decided. And so looking at this long drive the Colts went on after Mike Tomlin's, just wrong decision to punt instead of going for a 56-yard field goal attempt by Chris Boswell, 13 straight runs the other way by the Colts, and you just see how well and consistently the Colts won at the point of attack. They didn't have the one necessarily, 40-yard run, but just slowly this trip of winning the point of attack. Pittsburgh can't get off blocks, and again, watching the aerial view to kind of see the movement, which is the best way to sometimes capture that. You're seeing nobody getting off a block here. Hayward unable to make the tackle. The Colts really winning the point of attack, and it goes for a decent gain to get this drive going for Indianapolis. Pittsburgh trying to do anything they could to, stop the run. They go to their 4-4 front here, so true 4 defensive linemen, and Watts, Adams, Hayward, and Benton with the 4 linebackers, the 2 outside linebackers, 2 off-ball linebackers are going to go with just 1 safety here, which also helped because they were running out of safeties at this point in the game. But again, we're going to see the movement the Colts generate up front here, and they're just pushing Adams in particular. Watch him on that kind of combo block on the zone track, and it's a nice run here for the running back Trey Sermon. And so Pittsburgh just not able to win at the point of attack, beat a block, get off a block. Hayward having trouble as well. You don't see that too often from him, but he certainly had his struggles in this game before exiting. And you're getting the unblocked guys backside, which is fine. Running back cuts, gets vertical. It's a nice gain before Highsmith can finally tackle him. So we'll look at the end zone view of this one. But again, you just felt like the Colts were, they took Pittsburgh's soul on this drive. 13 straight runs to get 70-so yards, 9 minutes off the clock. Yeah, they kicked the field goal, but the damage was done at that point. So Pittsburgh just could not get off of blocks. They could not win the point of attack, and the Colts kept taking it to them. Very next play, Pittsburgh back in their nickel package, 2 down linemen against the 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers. Watch Montravius Adams right here on this double team. It's tough to take a double team in the NFL. I can't do it obviously, but you just kind of see the movement the Colts get and the running back going behind, and Adams trying to maybe turn his shoulders to wash this one, just getting beat up and then just knocked over at the end here as well by the right guard. And so you see Pittsburgh just not winning at the point of attack really well here. Hayward has a decent job with the backs running away behind Adams, who's just getting just destroyed by this duo or deuce block, whatever you want to call it here, by, in this case, number 75 and number 73. And you just see no resistance for 5 or so yards, and then the pile moving forward at the end, which we'll show from the other end zone view. Running back churning, getting an extra yard or 2, and those things began to add up as Pittsburgh began to wear down. Start of the third quarter, 3rd and 2 for the Colts. Pittsburgh in their dime defense, which was a choice, just 1 inside linebacker on this play against 11 personnel. They moved Trenton Thompson down into the box despite, again, their safety injuries. I'm not entirely sure what the decision was there, but I don't think it would have really made a difference in this play or in this game. And just watch the lane that Trey Sermon has. You talk about, just a truck could run through that. You and I could run through this. How many yards is he going before he's even contacted, even touched by the defense before Thompson finally gets him down? I mean, you talk about a running lane in the NFL, that's high school level type stuff. You don't see these kinds of things at this level that often. And Sermon not touched for 10, 15 yards. And it's a huge gain on 3rd and 2. And you see the energy that he has. He's amped. The Colts are amped. They're feeding off of that. Pittsburgh, they're dying because of it. And you just see, trying to one gap here. Ogunjobi gets washed down. The tackle, the 78 here is able to work to the second level without any sort of combo or help. They can just cleanly and fluidly get there. These guys can't get off of blocks. And again, other angle, look at this lane. I mean, you could run anybody through that, and there's no resistance at all. And the first time he's touched is basically 15 yards downfield. So and you see the energy. They're feeding off of that and that kind of stuff. And Pittsburgh's frustrated. Just a tough place to be. Last example we'll show from this drive and from this game, and just nobody getting off a block. The Colts winning at the point of attack. Pittsburgh can't stack and shed, unlike the Colts who are able to do that. And it's a nice run here by Goodson. You see his energy, his intensity, and just run after run. It's coming. Pittsburgh cannot stop it. Pittsburgh used to do this to other teams. They would run the ball. Everyone knew it was coming, and they could not. The deep opposing defense could not get a stop. Now it's being done to them, and that might be the biggest, most damning thing you could say about this team and where they sit at today. And so, again, nobody getting off of blocks here, whether it's Ogunjobi, Walker, Hayward trying to hang on to the double team here, but does not look great overall doing it. The lane here, I mean, Walker can't get off the block. Ogunjobi can't get off the block. They're in position. They're not necessarily getting walked back or washed out of the lane in their gap in their run fit, but they just can't get off the block at all. Running back gets through, and Thompson has to clean this one up and make the stop after another good game. So that's the tone. The Colts just took it to Pittsburgh all game long. I think offensively in the first half, or I should say defensively in the first half, the Colts defense was really physical. In the second half, the Colts offense, I think, matched that, and they just kind of grinded out the game the rest of the way. All right, I think you guys get the point. At this point, Pittsburgh, of their many problems, not being physical enough is one of them. As a team that just looks like they're ready for the season to be over. I don't want to say broadly that they've quit. That's a heavy accusation to make. I know guys like Watt and Hayward and the O-line, they're not quitting, they're not packing it in, but you really just kind of felt the air out of their balloon in this one, especially as the game went on. Pittsburgh certainly folded. The Colts were able to handle Pittsburgh's early punches. They punched back, and Pittsburgh just hit the mat. The second Indianapolis did, and you see the results of yet another ugly loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not just losing, but losing in really ugly fashion. It's now happened multiple times this year. The 49ers game, the Texans game, in this game, not just losing, but losing in really disappointing fashion where it wasn't really competitive for large points of the game. I think basically from late second quarter onward, the Colts were in complete control of this game. And so you talk about standards and the Steelers' way. The Steelers' way can mean a lot of things to different people, but I think it's about being, setting a high standard, certainly competing for a Super Bowl, but being competitive and always being a tough out, and teams always having to bring their best against you, regardless of what kind of season Pittsburgh was having. It's going to be tough. It's going to be physical. It's going to be close. You're going to have to battle into the last play of the game to hold on and try to win if you do at all. And this year, really going back to last year in 2022 with some of the blowout losses to the Bills, Eagles, etc., you're not seeing that. You're seeing some of the most lopsided losses in the Tomlin era of, multi-possessions, 14, 17, 24 points. Last year, 30-plus points. And that stuff happened occasionally years before, but it was very rare. And this year it's becoming common and not surprising. And that might be, again, the most concerning thing about where this team sits. So I'll wrap things up, go through the All-22 some more. But just from a trench standpoint, physicality standpoint, Pittsburgh not there on either side of the football in this game and during this 3-game losing streak. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.